Yo, yo, my sovereigns, what up? This is Boba Fett, uncensored on the internet, with episode 44. Yeah,
Yes.
44? 44 of
Yeah, 44.
Splinterlands 101. Joining us again, as usual, co host of the show, finest gentleman who ever lived, Matt Clark.
Howdy, howdy.
Here's Matt Clark. He's one of the finest gentlemen that ever lived.
And the Pouffet Poussey. I guess we should start calling you that now. That's
Yeah,
your main playing account,
it
Geotrix.
it is my main. It is my main, and I quite like the name. Hey, hey.
All right. So where did that come from? Because I know, like, when you split your cards up into different leagues and stuff, you
Yeah.
needed another account. And Geotrix, which was
Uh-huh.
how we your introduction is like your secondary account now because you've
Yeah.
migrated your card. Where did that name come from? Pouffet Poussey.
Yes. Well, it's pretty much the Slim Shady of Marshall, of Eminem, right? It's just like a funny side to it. I thought what could be witty but also rude and crude, but also spun in a way that is sort of okay for the game and you know what I mean? That sort of people will look at if they know, but they still won't like make a huge fuss about it. So I just thought something really stupid, sort of rude, crude, whatever you want to say. And yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I like controversy.
Right. I have seen
Yeah.
some interesting names coming up, not just players, but the guilds as well, when you're battling in the leagues. There's one I've come across a couple of times. I think it's like I did your mum or something like that. Um,
But that's just so that's just so
blunt.
on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 No
Geo's
wit
going
in
for the
that at
less is
all.
more.
Yeah.
Geo's like less is more. Let's just It is a little bit. I think it might be a little bit too young person for a old chaps like us to understand.
Yeah. And the description was extremely vague. So
Yeah, something about a rapper.
Yeah.
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 I know that Slim Shady is Eminem's like pen name, like in his songs.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
It's a
can the real
it,
Slim
it
Shady please stand up? Please stand up.
yeah.
But
It was an alter ego, like an alter ego sort of rip off or just a spin off from that.
that's your
Yeah.
rapper name or your porn star name.
It's just a fun name. It's something I thought of on the spot. I was like, what can be witty? Yeah, and fun and disgusting at the same time.
So it's a bit like
Yeah.
Sacha Baron Cohen with he's got Borat and Bruno and
Mhm.
who are the different characters that he does? Ali G.
Exactly. Yeah, Ali G.
I
Wicked.
never got into that. That was just too much
No,
slapstick
yeah,
stuff.
dumb.
I mean,
You're
I grew
right.
up with Monty Python. I like wit. Um, there's Oscar Wilde, the king of wit, Irishman who made fame.
There was Anyway, we should probably talk about the game. I was going to say there's a sketch, but then we're going to go down that path, and then we should probably talk about
Monty
the game.
Python one. There's only one thing
Yeah,
worse than being witty, Your Majesty, and that is not being witty. That one?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. You was comparing you to a stream of bat's piss. I merely
Yes.
meant that you shine out as a shaft of gold when all around is dark.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your
I'm
Majesty
with
is
you.
like a
I'm with you,
dose
Tom.
of the clap.
The setup Geo is these two orators who are very good, but they're they've got an audience with the king and they're trying to dump each other in it by
Yes.
accusing, he said this, and then it's
Yeah,
let's try and wind it back, you're trying to not get executed. Yeah, very, very fun. Yep.
Right.
Yeah. So, Geo, you wanted to talk proposals.
Yes. Yes, I did. Well, there's 3 proposals. The one right now is the SPS rewards for guild brawls. Well,
No
that's like
brainer.
That's going to get up.
yeah, everyone wants that.
There's a little bit of red on the end of that scale when you go to
There it is.
place your vote. Like, but
Obviously,
13% so far.
okay.
yeah,
But a lot of this might be resolved by the time this episode goes to air. But
I'm guessing
No
that's the
way.
13% of players who aren't in a guild.
Well, I guess, yeah. Yeah, or the 13% of staked SPS belonging to players who aren't in a guild. Because it's not, one vote per person. I've got this. My vote's got the same weight as 1,000 other random guys, which is scary because I'm not 1,000 times smarter than that guy or that guy or that guy. 10 maybe, not 1,000.
Well, aren't we the three of us in the top 5% of the smart people in the world?
Oh yeah, I'll say. Oh yeah. Let's go with that. Yeah. They tested me and they said I was in the top. I was in the top 95%. So.
Yeah, but we passed the global intelligence test, so we're in that 5%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, look, there's no way the repricing these things in dark energy crystals is going to get up. We're down to 32%. You'd need every single person who's against it to be for it in order for it to that's not going to happen. And that's for license nodes. Riftwatcher packs in dark energy crystals, that's not going to happen. SPS for guild brawls, yeah. So it's all pretty. I think everybody knows which way's up and which ways it's going. In the town hall, Yabba suggested that he'd be quite happy if some proposals didn't make it, just to show that it's not just a cynical rubber stamping exexercise.
Like selling his house.
Yeah, exactly. Selling his house or gluing that pink wig to him permanently. I do enjoy. I often stay up late for the town halls, but I tend to enjoy it better if I just sleep through it and then watch it the next day.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
proposals are interesting.
The Riftwatchers, buying Riftwatchers was decked. That was about 50. I think it was more yes than no when I looked at that one. So has that done a reversal?
44%. It's 44% for, 56% against. And it needs to be a 2/3 majority to get over. So that's definitely not going to happen.
Because I voted yes for that one. I'd like to spend something that I'm other than SPS on Riftwatchers because
I think the concerns are multiple. First is people who paid market price in SPS for it, saying, "Well, I've bought my Riftwatchers at this, and it's not fair then for somebody who's got dark energy crystals to come in and buy them at a discount." And the other is just the whole
I bought the other concern with SPS.
but like
the other concern is that they're also saying like Splinterlands said this is what they'd be sold for, and somebody made the good point. They said for 6 months we've been talking about how Riftwatchers being priced in SPS is going to put a bomb under SPS, and now it's actually no, we're going to price it in dark energy crystals, which is it's just putting a bomb under SPS with more steps, but it is kind of contentious, and a lot of people don't like it. And I think this is just I think there's an element of contrarian sort of energy here that says, I want you guys to understand that you won't always get what you want. And I think there might be some part of the player base that's like to dig their heels in and say, no, you don't automatically get what you want, which is ironic because this is what Matt wants, is for the occasional proposal to not get up so that everybody's aware that it's not a rubber stamp. So I can empathise. I think it becomes at some point the principle that other people shouldn't get it cheaper kind of gives way in my mind to the practical perspective that 3 people are going to get some packs cheaper until the dark energy crystal price rises back up to the target of $1 per 1,000, and then here we are, and it was all
nothing.
So we sold 500,000 packs at the slightly higher price, and then 10 people picked up 10 packs each before the dark energy crystal price got up to there, and then it doesn't really matter anyway. But for people, it's the principle of the thing, I guess. But you'd have to ask them. I don't know. I voted yes on that, mostly just because Aggie did. And I'm very much a fan of what the developers of the choices they've made so far. So when I'm up in the air, I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to go with what Aggie or Yabba vote for.
Yeah. And what's the views with the burning? I know when Geo first brought it up, I was like, because Geo's going, this is wrong, and I'm thinking I like this because of the value. But what's really stuck with me is like you said, Matt, is like going back to the principle of like this is what we were told. So people have gone ahead. So, okay, we're going to have 15 million packs. This is
Yeah.
the to go against that. And so I'm coming more over to the no, it's not a good idea side.
Their proposal is better than what I originally thought. They were just going to say, okay, we're just going to cut it short by 2 million packs and we're just going to sell 13 million or something like that, which would be a very big, sudden move. What they're actually talking about is 25,000 packs a week, was it? Or a day?
Mm-hmm.
25,000 packs a day being burnt until it's all gone. Yeah, which is effectively Splinterlands selling the packs to themselves because they were going to get the money anyway, right? So they're just selling the packs to themselves and sending them all to no. I'm toing and froing on it. I think it is so much of this market is based in sentiment, and the sentiment shifts against you when you say this is how many, and then you show weakness instead when you're saying we can sell 15 million packs. Oh no, we can't. That said, if this was going to drag on for quite a bit longer, I think we'd be struggling, because then it becomes, well, when are we going to? Is it going to be this time next year? We've still got Chaos Legion and Rebellion's ready, and there's pack after that, the set after that's ready.
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally think that all of this massive amount of sales all at once, all we need is a slight strengthening in the market, in the broader market, and we'll find that we'd start to move Chaos Legion packs again.
Yeah.
But that's just my guesswork, right? I don't have Yabba's figures. But
there was a lot at once, wasn't there? Chaos,
there was so much all
Rift
at once,
Watchers,
especially,
Tower
and it's all
Defense,
coming.
Roonies.
And from a technical perspective, they fired them up when they were ready. They just all happened to be ready around the same time. And they didn't want to sit on anything, which is understandable, but it does mean they're at the bottom of the bear, hopefully at the bottom of the bear, and everyone's run out of dry powder, and then there's all these sales, and where a lot of the OGs have bought what they plan to for Chaos Legion. So definitely a flat spot, no argument. But I also think the last 2 million packs are easily going to get sold by flippers who are like short term. I'm going to buy this and sit on it for 6 months and then flip it. As soon as those flippers get a whiff that CL's not going to be around for much longer, they then engage and start buying, right?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't take much momentum for us to get into that headspace and get to pick up some of that movement, either in pack sales or in the general market. Bitcoin goes back up to 21, 22, 23 grand. Ethereum's pumping at the moment, seems to be doing quite well. Doge, I think, today. So there's little green shoots all over the place. It wouldn't take much, and we might end up finding that in hindsight, we might say, we probably would have sold out of Rift Watchers by the Chaos Legion by the end of the year anyway, even without the burning. But we can never know that, right? Once the burning starts, we can't say what would have happened. But it will be forever true that the team weren't able to sell as many packs as they thought they would, which is bearish sentiment. So you just kind of don't want to take that on. But I mean, I think there's a couple of no coiners that asked me, how do I get into crypto? And I said to them, safe bet Chaos Legion packs, right? Swap your credit card, do your KYC with Splinterlands, buy packs in bulk, buy the bulk pack of 500 packs, and drop some decent money in there, and then just sit on them for a couple of years, and then you can sell them into a feeding frenzy. Now, those people, I think, will be happy that instead of buying one of 15 million packs, they've now got they're going to end up with one of 13 million packs or 14 million packs instead. So they're getting more scarce packs that then have that selling pressure. They then become the only ones selling it. The second hand is the only way to get them sooner than they were expecting. And in 2-3 years' time, they're going to be happy. And these aren't impatient people. They're older, mature people that are with it. But I think for them, they're probably going to be thinking, burning's a good idea. So I don't know. I think I expect, in all honesty, I think Rooney is going to sell out in less than a minute in the public sale. We're going to have some Ethereum whales move in. And I expect that burning or no burning, we're going to start chewing through Chaos Legion packs really quick. Because when they see that they're 2/3 sold out, when they see they've got usefulness in the game, and they see there's a third party, another site that you can sell them from secondhand at elevated prices, all of the previous ones, there'll be Ethereum whales to go, I'll dump some cash into this. And by cash, I mean, buy 500,000 packs. And that's the kind of attention that we'll get. We got into second position on the trending page of OpenSea just with our whitelist pre-sale that was only open to people who had vouchers.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
And that was a third. That was like a third of the print.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right? That's 2,000 out of 4,500. So it's or 6,500. Sorry, total Rooney. So what then happens then when we sell out a Rooney in a minute, and then the floor keeps rising as whales come in and go, oh, I really need one for even Splinterlands whales get the FOMO, right? Keep going. Then the floor moves up. We move up on the trending page. Hey, what's Splinterlands? We've got deal with OpenSea where they're just plastering Splinterlands Rooney all over the front page for a couple of days. And there's like 1 million people a day come and check OpenSea, right? So this whole thing may be a completely redundant, and
argument.
I'd love it. It'd be
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
They end up burning 25,000 packs because they've only got 1 day of actual burning before it all sells out anyway. That'd be great. But I'm calling it now. 1 minute sell out for Rooney.
All right.
Wow.
And
I want to like 100% agree with you. Like there'd be nothing cooler than like more people actually coming in at this time, right? And yeah, I think growth is just a cool thing. So however we get it, however they do it, I cross my fingers, you know?
yeah, and I've like the same sort of thing with the bottom of the bear market. I've pulled my Shinlo off the market. I just checked on it the other day, and someone's got one in there for 1,600. And like, there's no way, absolutely no way I'm gonna like even match that. And so I've got nothing for sale at the moment. And now that I actually have a dragon summoner, I can use my 1 mana Shinlo. So I've been actually using him. Whereas my 11 BCX Alric is just on the rental account, renting out. Because again, the price is just wrong. And I said to
Who's
Gio,
your dragon summoner? Which dragon summoner you got?
Quicks.
Quicks. Okay. Yep.
I've got a level 2 Selena Sky, but or level 1. I'll check that in a sec. No, yeah, it's level 2 Selena Sky, but no, that was really holding me back. So I've got a level 3 Quicks, which is gold. So I can now use all of my gold level cards for Dragon. And the only reason I never played Dragons before is because I would have been severely handicapped by my summoner. So now that I've got level 3 Quicks, I'm in the game with Dragons. And as far as like trying to sell those cards, I've had no success selling any major cards. Because now that I've got a level 7 Alric, I want to sell my level 4, which is an 11 BCX. So it's quite a high level 4. But as I was saying to GA the other day, the kind of people in the game that would buy a card like a Shinlo for $2,500 to $4,000 or Alric for $400, those kind of players, they're going to be using crypto. They're not going to be using dry powder. And no one wants to spend their crypto when it's at the bottom of the bear market. I'm still calling, by the way, 18.5K bottom for Bitcoin. Still calling that. Called it right at the beginning, and hasn't given me any reason yet to go back on that. So yeah, until we get into the start of the next bull run, I don't expect anyone's going to be buying any high level cards. So I've got nothing for sale at the moment. They're all renting, except my Shinlo that I'm using.
Have you looked at Delwyn Dragon Scale at all?
No, is he the +1 melee?
He's +1 to magic dragon.
Oh, the green one, the one completely green.
Yeah, he's got lots of
Purple.
green smoke coming off his hands, and he looks like a flesh golem with all the bits stuck. Yeah, so I'm just thinking if you want to make best use of your Shinlo, then Delwyn Dragon Scale's got the +1 to magic. So now that 1 magic in sneak is 2 magic in sneak. You pair him with a Goblin Sorcerer. I don't know if you've got
Goblin Sorcerer.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Right, so Goblin Sorcerer plus Shinlo, and now for like 4 mana worth of cards, not summoner, Delwyn's 5 mana to bring in. But then you're doing all this double magic damage to their back row, their double sneak magic. There aren't many magic sneaks out there, so it's a nice little I do a bit of sneak range.
How much is here? Yeah, I know you like your multi-sneak. How much is here, BCX?
He's $4. Well, for one BCX, you're looking at $4.30, $4.28.
And he's a common.
So I mean, he's a common, so he's going to cost you quite a few to combine, though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
so
I need to get him to level 8.
Yeah, that's the problem. So level 8, you're looking at $400 for the cheapest level 8 on the market.
Well, that's what I paid for my level 7 Elric.
There's a level 7 for 186. That's 105 BCX. But yeah, to get to level 8, you need 172. So yeah, I'm just throwing stuff out there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I have a. Do I have a deal one? No, it'll be on my rental. Be on my rental account.
And the latest seasons, I do need as much help as I can get. Just getting hammered.
Well, if you've got that sneaky little combo, you got that sneaky little go-to combo, and you throw in Goblin Sorcerer and Shinlo. They're just so rarely used as a 1-2 punch with Magic Sneak. And there's so many guys that'll use, say, Enchanted Defender or something up the back with a lot of thorns. You just take him out like that with Magic, unless it's weak Magic or Summon by Wraith.
Yeah, definitely need some new strategies. I'm not doing that well in the leagues at the moment. I mean, I'm finishing every season in Gold 1, and I made it with about 3 days to spare last season. So the money I did spend on my card, because the season before, like I had literally 3 minutes on the clock to spare to get into Gold 1.
So it proves that it's helped.
Yeah,
It proves that it's actually done something for you to get into the desired league a lot quicker.
Yeah. So yeah, do need to look at. I mean, if I had like my Shinlo sold for 2,500, I'd have the perfect deck that I want for gold.
Yeah,
just leveling up the right cards that I need. But when I saw that one the other day for 1,600, I thought, no, there's no point having him on the market. I'm not going. No, deal breaker.
Yeah.
And how long is it going to be before someone chips that 1,600 guy, dude? Might be trying to actually buy a Shinlo soon. Get mine up at a level.
Let's have a look. You've got me curious now.
Okay.
Yeah, 1,600 still the cheapest. Yeah, 1,600.
Yeah.
Then the next one's 3 BCX for $5,000, which is not much more expensive, really.
Yeah. But my next purchase is still Lord A. I need 4 BCXs of Lord A to get mine to do the full suit of damage, reflect, bounce, or that was it 4 buffs or whatever he's got. Yeah. Never remember the name of them all, but that deadly position. Yeah, I need 4 BCX. So
Lord A-hole.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He might come down a bit with the new rule sets. You guys see the new rule sets are announced in Town Hall?
I heard them briefly, and I was doing something else at the time, and I never got back to it.
It's pretty easy to remember. They're just abilities from the game that have been thrown in as a rule set for everybody, but Thorns, Magic Reflect, and Range Reflect. So everyone gets Thorns, everybody gets Magic Reflect, everybody gets Range Reflect, which is interesting because you'd think, well, if it's everyone gets Magic Reflect, who's going to use Magic? Right, you're just not going to pick Magic cards. But then, of course, that's the ultimate counter bluff where you go, all right, you can reflect everything, but I'm going to use a Magic Self-Healer.
Yeah.
And because you're not expecting it at all, you've gone for high armor, low health cards. Maybe my self-healing Magic guy's just gonna punch on through. Who knows, right? Or things like Mimosa, right? Because Mimosa's got void, gives all her cards void.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, and if you just pick cards that only do 2 magic damage, I don't know. It'd be an interesting to see what the meta does. But I mean, if it's every card gets Thorns, you're probably not.
And
really
Mylor's no good as a summoner. That puts Mylor out of business.
That's right, but it's been the case.
It's like,
It's like Holy Protection. Okay, you're not going to bring in who's the summoner that gives them all Divine Shield, right? You're not because otherwise she's wasted. So it's Lorna. That's it. So it's just like that,
Yeah. It's like when I first started playing Alric in Melee Mayhem, I was cleaning up, but after a
Mhm.
couple of weeks, all of a sudden, Melee Mayhem, put in Alric, it's like silence, silence, silence. Like, damn, they're onto it.
They're
Yeah.
onto you. The meta shifted.
Yeah, well, this is what's fun about adding new abilities, you know. It does shift the meta on that particular rule set. And I think that's a really cool thing, man. Like, the more complexity you can add, you know, the better.
Especially if it keeps the bots at bay.
Yeah, yeah.
More difficult for them to, you know, they don't have the data on the new rule sets yet, so
Not
that might
yet.
help with the human win rate. Yeah, not yet. Just give it time.
Ah,
Yeah.
well, I remember, Matt, I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you the gentleman purchasing the pickles?
No, that's Yabamat.
You know, but
Wow.
Matt said that he approached another gentleman who's not willing to sell, and then he made reference to flesh golems. The pickles will be the new
Yeah.
flesh golem.
What?
No, I'm not cornering any specific thing in Rooney. Let me
Right?
just make that yeah. And he also said he's approached that person, and that's no. Yeah, I haven't heard
They
from
said
Yabba about
no.
it. So
Yeah.
yeah, no. So I think it's look, it's funny. Everyone credits me with inventing the idea of stacking something or cornering a market, but it's like this has been around for so long. It's people were always going to do it. I just happened to come up with the idea first and do it so thoroughly that I got a reputation for it. But it's, you know, I don't mind. I'll take the nod. But it's, yeah, people just, it's human nature, right? To just go, I want to have the biggest pile of this. And yeah, Cryptomancer, you seen how many gelatinous cubes that guy has?
No,
It's ridiculous. It's just stacking gelatinous cubes.
I don't even have
Puts
one.
my flesh golem collection to shame.
No
But
shit.
as a percentage of the total available, I'm still rocking it as far as I can tell, because there's
A
so
lot more
many
cubes.
jelly cubes out there, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas flesh golem were part of a much smaller alpha release, so nobody owns a third of a specific card, as far as I'm aware. There is one exception to that is Gold Matters, who
That dude.
Agro mentioned in the town hall. I think he owns like 2/3 of the gold lightning dragons, gold alpha lightning dragons.
Oh, wow.
But that's like it's like 5 out of 7 or something like that. It's not a large number of cards, but he's got them. So
Yeah.
and he's good people. I like him a lot. We've chatted before.
Yeah.
But no, not me. I've got my head, and I got a Rooney that's got a head that doesn't
Caesar
match his
thing
body.
that you minted on
Everything
the
else-
last show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything else is right, but his head, I can't gel with his head matching his body. So I went through and I found a perfect Rooney, $750, but found the perfect Rooney that actually has just the right head to go on my Rooney's body, and just the right body to take the donor head. So I'm
Can
like,
you
yeah, this is
swap
great.
bits
So I
and pieces with the Roonies?
We're going to be able to, yeah. They announced it
Wow.
like only a few days before the sale, and it's not something that any other of these projects have done. But you'll be able to, any Roonies that you own, you'll be able to swap components between them, and that's how it'll look when you're playing in battle, when you're bringing it into battle or whatever.
And
else.
each of the components have a rarity structure as well.
Yeah, well, we saw that with Matt's. Like the wreath was something. This sword and
Yeah.
even the color. So wow,
It is
There's-
cool.
it's going to be interesting. What someone's going to like end up with a Rooney, and because you don't know, like really, because you love it, doesn't mean everyone else is going to love it. And someone nails that with the Rooney that everyone wants, and then you've got like the head of that Rooney, or you've got the sword of that Rooney.
Yeah.
Like you just don't know what it's going to do to the value of your card. Just, you know,
Right.
it might be a shit sword that you hate, but that sword looks really good with the headgear and everything else, and then that card becomes the Rooney everyone wants, and you've got that sword.
Yeah, so it brings possible value to Roonies that are undesirable if it
Yeah.
wasn't for that one item.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But also then you can, what you can do if you've got deep pockets is you can construct an uber rare Rooney yourself by buying Roonies that have just one unique, and you can just compile those unique aspects into one Rooney, which means that statistically, it's not.
It's like having a second
Rooney.
card for spare parts for the other card.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember back in the 80s, man, he had a friend who used to buy EHs because he had like an amazing EH. This is a Navy friend in the 80s. And like just literally the other ones were just spare parts because the parts for an EH in the 80s were so expensive that it was actually cheaper to like buy a car and you just have the collection of spare parts. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And
you know
now
what an EH is, Gio?
it's a Holden.
Yeah, it's an old like
An old model Holden.
yeah.
Yeah.
And even in the 80s it was like collector's edition.
Yeah. And even now it's worth even more. So what an investment.
Yeah.
People pay 20 grand for a shell on particular cars. A shell.
Yeah.
Nothing in it.
It's like when you told me about the VK, couldn't believe myself. Because when I was in the Navy, I had a VK Commodore, two-tone, mags, tow bar, 9-foot stainless steel, CB antenna, as well as a 5-foot whip, rhubar, like had the works. And like I think I got like 4K for that when I traded it in on a panel van. And VK today is like, who'd have thought? Who would have thought the 202 Blue Motor would? But like again, though, that car that did the Nullarbor like 7 times. I drove that backwards and forwards over the Nullarbor from Melbourne to Perth. And I think I went through.
Didn't know you anything.
No. I went through like 3 uni joints on that car, and that was it. That was it.
Yeah.
Never had any issues. Whereas a lot of people said that the Blue Motor, 202 Blue Motor, was cursed, but it was amazing for me.
I guess the thing is with these cars, you've got to say, oh, if I'd have kept it for 30 years, but I mean, think of the upkeep. Think of having to garage it and insure it and all that. Like it wouldn't have been that profitable after all that.
You're right.
And how many times would it have been stolen parking it out somewhere?
Yeah, but honestly, for all the ones who did hoard these cars, they're doing good. They're doing okay.
Cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a lot easier to store cards that are
digital.
Digital, that don't live anywhere. They live everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Hey, there's a great idea. An NFT. Because there's some shit NFTs. I mean, like some of the stuff that people, like my 4-year-olds just drawn a picture. Here's an NFT. Rare cars, and see if their value of the cards match the actual value of the real solid deal.
It'd have to be from the actual real supplier, like Holden. Like it has to be official. You're right.
I don't know. I really don't know enough about NFTs to even spec, but just it would be an interesting concept with cars, digital cars and real cars.
It's probably a thing, Bob.
It's hard when you're backing NFTs with something, right? To say this thing is worth this other thing in the real world, because there was discussion when they were minting the Steam branded silver coins, and they said, oh, we should also do an NFT that, when you pass the coin on to somebody, you transfer the NFT to them as well. But then what are the odds that the NFT, somebody gets hacked and he loses all the NFTs to his coins, but he still has the coins, and then he wants to sell them, but the new buyer says, why can't you bring me the NFT as well? Or he sells him the coin, but he's not interested in the NFT because he just wants silver, and he's not, these things get very
messy,
silly very quickly and messy, and it's really funny when when people have said to me from the start with Bitcoin that it's not backed by anything, it's not backed. If it was backed by gold or something like that, then you'd be like,
As opposed to the dollar.
yeah, exactly. You're running on old information there. Was it 72? We came off the gold standard, I think. And yeah, since then it hasn't been the same. That's obviously licensed to print money, literally. But I think from the start, had Bitcoin been worth some amount, if some authority figure had said X number of Bitcoin is worth X ounces of gold, then that would have turned Bitcoin into a honeypot. Whereas the fact that it's only backed by itself means it's never been worth attacking. And I think a lot of people haven't necessarily worked that out. I think they've got this mentality where everything has a foundation only if it's built on something else. Things are only useful if they're built on something else. Whereas that would have been a liability for Bitcoin because its value is just in its own utility. It's not valuable because it's worth this other thing, because some authority figure says it's worth this other thing. So
especially when that other thing is under the
is.
control of someone else or manipulable by someone else.
Yeah. Exactly. And so what people assumed was a shortcoming of Bitcoin, and people have found this out. They've tried to start their own crypto, but it's better than Bitcoin because it's backed by oil or gold or whatever, and they've come unstuck. Even if you look at US dollar with Luna and the like, they've made it worth attacking. And Bitcoin's definitely worth attacking now, but it's not worth attacking. It wasn't when it was vulnerable. It wasn't worth attacking. There's nobody out there waiting for it to drop down to just the position where it's vulnerable enough, and then gold moves up just enough, and now it's worth it. Let's attack, and then they destroy it to crack it open, and don't want to turn it into a piggy bank, right?
Yeah. So just to some sort of standard, like 10,000 Bitcoin is worth 2 pizzas, or something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what?
But no one was guaranteeing that.
I think it's one of the only things I can imagine in my lifetime that has, instead of the actual systems bringing people in, it's been the opposite. The people have attracted the big dudes. It's a reverse, and I believe that's what crypto has done, right? Because at first it was everyone, all the big dudes just scoffed at the thought of it, paid it no mind, but the people made it so, what's that word? So
wantable.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's never like that, right? It never.
Yeah.
This is the only thing I can think of that's been the reverse.
Yeah.
Maybe there's other examples. I don't know. I can't think of it. But yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah. When you consider the status quo is the actual complete reverse, then really what you're referring to as reverse would be normal or forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think the idea of something that's outside of the existing control mechanisms is far more appealing to the people suffering under those control mechanisms than it is to the people enjoying those control mechanisms. I mean, let's be honest. That's why the little guy loves it, and the big guy's like, "Oh yeah, no, this is dumb. Don't everybody avoid this thing because it's terrible."
Yeah.
Because I'm not running it. That's why.
Actually, I'd like your input, Matt. On we were talking about taxes the other day, from the point of view that, okay, so a dollar, whether it's US, Australian, whatever, it's not yours. Now, you got it in your wallet, it's not yours. You do not own it. It is always the property of the Reserve Bank. And so, they have the complete control over that. If you've sold your fiat and you're in another currency, what gives any government or anybody the right to tax something that is not theirs?
Well, it's not. I mean, it's not about rights. It's about power. They've got the guns, so they do what they like.
Tanks.
They window dress it in terms of rights. Oh, you've got rights, but the fact is, you can't own property when you yourself are property, right? That's like if I had a monkey and I gave him a pet dog. I haven't given my pet a pet. I've just tied 2 animals together, right? So property can't own property. That's
and we are chattel. Yeah.
That's right. So we're owned by the government. So we can't then own property in our own right. There's a thin veneer of civilization over all of the guns and all of the tanks and all the boots on all the faces. So yeah, I mean, it's just a question of what holes are there in the system for the benefit of the powerful and their friends that can be exploited right now by the small man before they get closed up and new ones have to be found. Because it's the same with inflation. Oh, everybody's treated the same, except my friends get the new money first before the prices go up. I remember negative gearing was a big thing, and it was small at first when it was discovered, and the guys looked after each other and their mates. Here's this thing where if you lose money on your rental income, on your rental property, your yield is not quite enough to cover your costs, but your growth in the value of the underlying asset means that you can then and you offset your income tax, and it's a way to get free, right? It's a way to keep more of your money. And while it was a small thing that only the right people knew about and shared, it wasn't a problem. But when mums and dads started using it to free themselves, then it became the politicians, oh, we have to close down these loopholes and negative, because their friends have moved on to the next thing, right?
Yeah.
And so I think what we need to be doing is, rather than looking in terms of rights or whatever else, we need to be thinking, what are these big guys doing? What are they onto first? Is it buying and selling art for tax deductions to move art, to move money overseas? Well, I'll just buy this $5 million art piece and then I'll sell it to that guy over there, and now I've got $5 million. I haven't had to move money through banks like a chump does, right? So it's all about watching what they do, and I guess turning that to our own benefit. But yeah, you don't own the dollar because the government owns you. We can't really own anything.
Yeah.
We get to temporarily use what they let us. And my old man likes to say that we don't own anything. We have a 5-minute rent on everything, your house, your car, everything. You got a 5-minute rent renewed with every heartbeat.
Yeah.
5 minutes after your last heartbeat, you don't own shit.
Yeah. I remember one phrase used to hear a lot when I was doing digital marketing. If you're not paying for a product, it's because you are the product. Yeah.
Yeah. If the service is free, the product is me.
Yes.
That's great.
The great phrase he says, like, where's the best place to hide a dead body? Page 2 of a Google search.
Love it.
Yeah, we used to use that one all the time. Yeah. Well, should we do some battles, or does anyone have anything else that they want to talk about?
Yeah, I just want to own kicking ass at the moment.
I feel like Andy on the town hall. It's like, ask the question, and it's just crickets chirping in the background.
Yeah.
Let's start it.
Who wants to stand up for these proposals? Yeah. Who's sending me a battle? Who's sending me a challenge?
Pufe.
You know what? How about Bob? How about Bob for once sends off the bat, and then I can send Matt one, and since he will have his fix, and then we can verse amongst you and me after we both have a go at Matt.
Still can't get my opponents to auto-populate, by the way. I had a look at that the other day. Don't know why it won't let me do it.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that either anymore.
Because everything else auto-populates. Like when I'm sending cards between my rent account and my playing account, they remember each other, but just not the auto-populate.
It's a browser setting, and I did it once, and now I don't remember how to do it again because I reset my browser.
But I mean, this is all in Brave with sending cards and stuff, and it remembers it, just not in the opponent. But it's all on Brave, so that's why I can't see how it could be a browser setting. But I will look more into it. You going to accept this challenge, Matt, or did I misspell your name?
No, here it is.
Okay.
2 T's. 2 T's.
Matt's 2 T's Clark.
Matt TTs.
Oh, I got a decent amount of mana for once. Reverse speed, earthquake, 38 mana, everything except something. What am I missing? What are we missing, Matt?
Except Earth. No Earth.
Earth. Yes.
Yes. Damn. Earthquake, I love to go Yasek and just Grenadier to just spray blast snare everywhere, but it's reverse speed, so Yasek's a bad idea.
Interesting.
All right, I've submitted. Let's do this thing.
Wow, that's scary.
Let's do this thing.
I wonder what's so scary. So Matt's chosen, and Bob is
Yeah, I've just submitted just then.
cool.
All right, and I'll just bring it up to the right screen and I'll share.
I like the intensity. It's
You
it's
see, that's
quite
the thing.
nice.
I never get to see my own intensity.
It's nice. It's a good intensity. It's extra hot. It's extra hot chili sauce.
Nando's extra bloody hot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Can't go wrong with Nando's.
Well, at least I've limited the range. I made the right choice there.
Yes, indeed. I'm mostly in it for the snare, though. I love to just spray snare everywhere to let the
Yeah.
earthquake do the damage.
I've never really
I'm
gone for
hoping that-
wings on Earthquake because that's such a common strategy now to go snare. So I just try to do
Yep.
as much damage as possible and just have a leecher in there. So in this case, I've got a leech and a scavenge, which might mean because I've gone with both, I might not be doing enough damage.
Yeah.
I think I've got a couple of stuns as well. My lightning dragon and my spark pixies, I think, will stun your Windeco to the point where he can't self heal.
Yep.
And that might become a bit of a concern. Your thorns are nullified too because I'm not hitting him with any melee. Oh well,
Other
the red
than your
dragon.
tank. Yeah.
Yeah, my tank's magic and melee, but yeah, I guess he's mostly melee. Yeah, I do like to use red dragon on reverse speed. Have you slowed me down?
Yes, I
Yep.
have with quicks.
Yeah. Yeah, but so obviously it's a liability though because it's a reverse speed match. So you've done me a favour.
No! Oh yes.
I think the stuns are going to hold Windeku in place so he can't out heal the earthquake damage
I think
Mhm.
so
and the
too.
bits of other damage that I'm doing. And I think my snipe mantoid is going to make quick work of your. Who's that magic guy up the back end there? And I don't think your
Inari.
sandworm can get through. Yeah, I don't think your sandworm can really hurt me enough in the back end before the earthquake comes and takes all the pain away. So yeah, I think I'm going to win this one, Bob.
Oh, I
think so.
can't
Yeah.
believe I did reverse speed, slow on reverse speed. Oh, let's see. Miss. Miss. Stun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeesh.
it's not looking good. You might run out of life though, man.
Nah, he's doing way too much damage.
Yeah, he's only one speed though, so it's my turn now to
yeah,
score some
Yeah,
misses.
but the stuns though.
Yeah. Yeah.
The stun. I only have to stun you once each round, and you can't heal. And I got 2 stunners, so
Yeah. All right. It's nice to
Shall
Matt.
send.
Matt 2 stunners, Clark.
2 TTs, 2 stunners.
Geo.
A double T quattro.
It's all on your shoulders now, Geo.
Yeah, man, I will send that challenge. I will send it right now. And let's do gold. Send.
I'm on a high here. I'm coming off a win, so I might
You
be
have-
not just obnoxious, but also overconfident. You could turn that to your advantage. Turn my overconfidence to your advantage.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, so we've got 60 mana,
We
blast, and close range. So ranged attacks may be used in the first position.
do. Yeah, we do. What do we do?
That'll do.
Uh,
That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
that'll do, donkey. That'll do. Yeah, it's a bit of a doozy for me. I don't exactly know what to put down. But I shall. I really don't know.
You must be running out of time there, Geo.
Yeah, 1 minute. What?
Sometimes too much mana is just too many choices, huh?
You know what? Let's just do it. I'm gonna do this. Yeah.
All right.
This is what I'm gonna do. All right, 2 seconds. Oh, actually, no, I don't want it. What do I do? Yeah, screw it. It has to be done. It just must. All right. 15 seconds. Sparing. Now, wow. I will get it to the screen where all the rule sets are up, and then I will share.
See,
Okay.
even though you're using Windows, you've got no pebcow error either.
Sorry, I don't know what a peb cow is.
Pebcow is one of the most common errors on operating system.
I thought it was pebcac.
Yes, sorry. Thank you, Matt. Yes, it is pebcac.
What? Okay.
Problem
so-
Great
exists
minds.
between keyboard and chair.
Yep.
All right.
So we've both gone Yasik.
Hey, remember another Yasik versus Yasik.
Well,
Yeah.
Scattershot is avoiding that damn lurker, which I wanted to get your, to single in
have me
on.
focus my fire on.
Yeah,
I missed one of those the other day, and it was only like 3 speed, and I kept missing it over and over again. It drove me bonkers. So, yeah, hopefully that's not the case. My Jin Inferni has that giant killer. I figured you'd bring in some heavy, heavy hitters above 10. He just melts them, especially when it's blast. Because I noticed giant killer blasts well. So even if my target isn't over 10 mana, if he hits one that's either side that's over 10, so if it's 50 plus, I like to bring him in.
Look,
I might be a little bit faster. I think I'm faster.
Yeah, I think you are.
And all of all of your attack is being directed against my Magnor with Taunt, except, sorry, you've got Scattershot as well. So I think we're just going to have to hit the button and see, man.
Yeah, man.
Gio, what's your 1 mana card there next to Vintu?
That's Coral Lurker.
No. Second from the right on the bottom. Yeah, him.
Oh, you got that. Mordius.
Mordius.
Mordeus. Mordeus or Mordeus. Yeah, you got that card. I only
Okay.
got, yeah. I thought at one BCX that he'd be all right for now until hopefully
Yeah.
Rift Watchers goes a little bit down. I'm
Hitting
just
for
gonna play.
5 with an opportunity card's pretty good.
Yeah, could be. Let's see. I
Yeah.
really don't know. I think Matt has it, but we'll see.
Wow, you're still slow motion glitching on Windows. So it's not a Linux issue.
Really? I have no clue. That's really weird.
Yeah.
Oh, it kind of looks. I like it.
Yeah, I said like last week, it's like you get to see the animations, like
Shit.
really actually get to see them. You
You
normally
hit me
don't.
you hit me where it hurt.
The living lava really. Although you've just done some damage there, man. A lot of damage. That was that a direct hit on your Venator Kinjo? I don't think I've killed one of those yet. Venator Kinjo. I've come up against them constantly, and I've pretty much just killed every time.
Oh, hey, what's happening?
There we go.
What's going on here?
It's on for young and old.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah,
It was worth
you did it, mate. Well done.
taking that time then, Gio.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I wonder why yours glitch. Are you using Zoom Web or Zoom app?
I'm using the app.
Wow. Wonder
Hmm.
why yours always goes in slow motion. Because I'm guessing that you're not seeing it in slow motion.
No, mine's
No.
like so
Yeah.
good.
Wow, that's crazy as.
Yeah.
Right, so I guess it's you and I now, Gio.
Yes.
Right.
You want to send?
Yeah. I'll do
Since
that.
mine's glitchy, I'd rather you record it.
Yeah.
We might have to work on that, Bob.
Yeah,
I
I just
wanna
always
test it out.
assumed it was like an Ubuntu thing, but obviously, or for process of elimination, first we thought it was the Zoom web rather than the app, then we thought maybe it's Ubuntu. So
I
yeah,
still
that's really
think
strange.
I still think it is the web thing, but since I'm on a low power device, maybe the hardware acceleration, the graphics isn't really strong enough. But I see it fine, right?
Yeah,
So is it in
I really don't know, man. This is like really strange.
I thought my internet was decent for like Australian standards. It's still shit compared to the rest of the world.
Yeah, what are we, like number 37 in the world or something?
Ah, trash. That's what we are.
All right, we got
Okay.
19 mana and it's back to basics. My least
Yep.
favorite rule set.
Same. I do not know.
I'm 1 mana short to do what I really want to do.
I am very short in this situation. Okay, what can I do? I need a. What do I usually go with for this rule set? 19 mana.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know.
I've submitted.
I'll just try this out. Yeah. Okay. 2 seconds. And I will be right there with you. I have submitted.
Okay. You've submitted, so you've given in. You're
Yeah, show's over. Good night, folks.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to do the legal wrangle on you there. You've lost by default because you submitted.
All right, what have we got? I'm just gonna close this page. I don't want to look at anything, so yes, much better. What do we reckon?
You're not doing a lot of damage there, mate.
No, I am not. But I wasn't going for damage.
Yeah, you got your phase there. It's going to give you
Yeah.
an advantage for sure.
So either I dodge your attacks, most of them, or you
Yeah.
wipe me out.
Because I mean,
That's
look at my magic users, 1 speed and 3 speed. So with magic being able to miss because of your phase, you got 5, 6, 5. I think we're going to see a lot of magic misses in this game.
Or not. We will find out. Matt, what do you reckon?
I like all the magic. I think Bob's got so much magic there, and you're not prepared for it at all.
Yeah.
You've got this.
He is,
got
so
the
he's
phase,
got phase,
but
yeah.
but he's only got a couple of hits, doesn't he?
Mhm.
And that, it's going to have to be Geo. That's this, but I can't even pronounce. Is ridiculous. I was just watching our match here, and you've just Anyway, I'm not going to talk about RNG. I'm just this but is going to ruin Bob's day, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Ordinarily I'd be like, yeah, but with that phase, that's okay. We're going to take a while to get used to the new meta, I reckon.
Yeah, because the speed. I mean, if even if the speed was equal, the miss might not be a big deal. But the speed difference with magic missing, and I've still support still haven't fixed my RNG issue, so there's definitely going to be a lot of misses. I keep lodging support tickets, and they just keep closing them. My RNG issue, yeah.
For wasting their time.
All right, let's see how this goes.
Yeah, let's give it a look.
Miss.
Miss, yeah.
No. Yeah.
Whoa, I've got it. I've got it.
Come on.
Oh, miss, damn.
Take it.
Oh, we thought we were due for a turnaround, but no.
Yes, I thought my luck had changed, but it had not. Well done, Geo.
Thank you.
All right.
Ooh,
And just as that happened, 10 minutes just came up on the clock. So what should we do?
Well, why don't we verse once more?
Us?
Yeah, because Matt got two matches, and now we get 2 matches.
Okay.
That's fair. That's fair,
okay.
right?
All right.
Yeah?
Fair enough.
That works out.
I think Geo's just going for the easy win. I think that's what's really going on here.
Well, okay. Okay, who wants it more, Matt? I will verse you if
I've sent you a
Bob's
challenge.
willing to. All right.
I sent you a challenge.
All right.
I'll be your doormat.
Next time?
That's okay. I'll be your doormat. That's okay.
Dude, you nearly beat me. You literally nearly beat me. So I don't know what to tell you.
It's like nearly winning the lotto. Alright, we've got 20 mana, Divine Shield, Knockout, and everything except. I'm not good at the everything except. What are we missing?
Wow. I still don't know what to do.
I just
I'm
don't
gonna,
know what to do with
I'm
myself.
going, I'm going to submit again. I've done it. I've
Are
chosen my
you in
teams. I've
already?
locked
Oh
in.
wow.
Yeah. I just thought, you know what? I'm not gonna overthink it this time. So no point stressing over. I'm sure it's shown on the screen how much of a stress it
Are you just gonna give
could
me
be.
You
gonna
win.
give me a charity match, are you?
Your win rate's pretty good. I've noticed you tend to get a lot more relaxed after you do that white cloud thing that you do. I'm not sure what's in there or how that works, but I've noticed you
It's a
just
bit of nicotine,
calm right down. Yeah, sure.
PG, VG oil, and flavoring. I don't know what the flavoring is, but I'm sure it's a lot better than the disposable vapes. Let's just put it like that. All right. Yo. Oh, I thought you were gonna go with magic again. Solely magic. So
I
I
was
think
hoping that you would think that.
yes, and I think you got a lot of speed, and I'm scared of your demon shark, and I'm
I went
scared of Jin.
I went with
Uh,
Kalia because of knockout. I thought I'd like to have some shields. Predominantly
yeah,
there.
I am afraid. I just hope my stuns actually are able to hit you, first of all. And if I'm able to stun you more so than not, then I reckon I got this. Otherwise, I think you might just have it. That's what I think.
You
I
got
never underestimate
you got two stuns
the
there,
demon.
which
Never underestimate Demon Shark. He's killed me so many times.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to go with Bob in this one because Cursed Wind Echo doesn't have any real defense against magic.
Doesn't.
He's got phase again. This,
But there's no speed there. Yeah.
No, that's the thing. Why would he dodge when there's no Oceanus is faster? So yeah, and then I don't know. It's all about whether you can punch through Windeku or not, Bob.
yeah.
If you can't punch through him quick, you're going to struggle. 11 is a lot of health,
Yeah.
and you're not weakening me. I'm turning around on this. I'm going to go with Geo. That's just too much health, right? There's too much, and there's a bit of
Thorns kickback.
There's damaging coming from what's her face up the top end there. I use her a lot actually. Been using her with Selenia Sky to great effect. That 2 mana girl with the
Assassin,
2.
Naga Assassin.
Yeah. So yeah, I've turned around on this. I don't think you've got the longevity for it, Bob. I think
Right.
I think enough of his magic, his damage is coming in as magic.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna. Yeah. I'll go with Geo.
I watched one of Geo's matches the other day because he's using epic summoners. He gets to use level 7 Demon Shark, which has retaliate.
Yep.
It does. In
So
gold.
jealous. So
Huge.
jealous. Yeah.
Huge.
Because mine's level 4, only because I don't really need him any higher. And he's expensive because he's gold foil. But if I could use a level 7, I would level to get that
You're
retaliate.
in rage. Oh,
But-
dude, your enrage is scaring me.
But I do
so
need
much.
to get an epic summoner before I can justify getting him up to level 7. Stunned.
Oh, there's the stun. You
Yeah.
got enraged and stunned at the same moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now there's just not the damage output.
Flawless
No.
victory. Flawless
No.
victory.
The stuns are just rolling in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
RNG RNG faulty account. Absolutely.
Oh wow. Okay.
All right, we got 4 minutes on the clock. We got time for a quick game or anything?
Yes, I'll send
anything?
Matt.
All right.
Yeah, I'm up for another one.
Yeah. Oh
Get some
man.
dignity back. Dignity, Luan.
It's time to put this dude in place. This
Oh.
shrimp. This shrimp. No, I'm talking about as if Matt was talking to me.
I
I'm
heard
not.
what you said. I'm coming for you. Coming for you. I've been called a lot of things in this game, but shrimp isn't one of them.
I called myself a shrimp.
Smaller
heard
than a
what you said.
minnow.
Too late, mate. I heard what you said.
I was thinking about minnow, but I was like, no, I want to use something a bit different. What can I do?
All right, I'm
Okay.
submitted.
I've submitted.
All right.
And I will bring it to. Oh, come on.
Well, no spoilers until you've shared. No spoilers until you've shared.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. I'm gonna share. So I've done exactly the same thing as Matt, but he's done it in a more sophisticated way because he's got better.
Let's all see before you give
All
away
right.
the. Yeah.
I'm giving away what I think right now, and that is this. Do you see it?
All right. Just make it a little bit larger and press play because we've only got 2 minutes left.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. See
So
that?
this is a great minds think alike.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
So we both decided to cleanse a Uriel.
Yeah.
But you got extra armor.
Yeah. Rest
Yeah, so
definitely
I've
going to
got-
give the advantage
I've got
here.
Wrath
Yeah.
with the extra armor, but Amplify doesn't really help me. Yeah, I don't know. And
Yeah.
neither of us have.
There we
It's
go.
just going to be luck, right?
Yeah,
just
pretty
luck.
much. Yeah.
It's just a coin toss. I'll take it though. I'm definitely
Nice,
the better
dude.
player.
That
All
was
right.
awesome.
So that's a wrap then
was
for
good
the
fun.
episode. So thanks for joining us on episode. It was 44, wasn't it? I hope this was
Yes.
44. Yeah. Thanks for
Yeah,
joining us on
44.
44. And if you recognize that my account definitely has an RNG problem and that I should keep submitting support tickets, comment below. Show me your support there on that. And don't forget, each week, we love engagement on our posts. Like, comment, but comment. If there is a commenter who generates the most amount of engagement on the post, that commenter will receive 10% of the post rewards. So thanks for joining us in 44. Look forward to seeing you in 45. I'm Boba Fett. Peace out.
See you guys.
There it is.
We've got less than a
Oh, that was
minute,
good
so
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, man. That team.
That was funny that Gio and I had exactly the same idea.
Yeah. I usually that's my go-to usually.
Is it?
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever I can use him,
Yeah.
I try.
So the thing is, noxious fumes. If you can cleanse somebody of it, and they're a high
Yeah.
health self healer, they're just going to outlast so much stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
But most
yeah, it was
cleansers
a-
are
it was a-
gone on the first round